Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. So we're oh, God damn it, I'm laughing. Anywho, I'm going to start showing you guys how I pass my work from the traditional side to the digital side. Sounds a bit weird saying this, but you'll get my point. So I have my old character from Rise of the Guardians. It's an OC for that movie actually. It's called Jacqueline O'Lantern. That represents Halloween. At least this was my vision of Halloween. She is still this is the usual perspective, the proportions I have for her, and I made her firstly traditionally because it helped me. Whoops, that was a mistake. My bad. I intended her to be this size, and usually we have a hard time getting perspective, but the size of the character right when we are doing digitally for the first time. So my advice to everyone who's starting, even for professional artists, if they have that issue, they can confirm with you guys that it's best if you start with the traditional version. I mean, all complete. I have that more sketchy because I wanted to do some extras on the program, so I started doing everything traditionally, doing the sketch, and then I start add the parts individually in each layer so we can continue with the rest. So I added a neutral, that makes no sense, neutral background, which you don't see anything of the character because my smart ass face forgot to do this, which was dragging this layer onto the back. And Krita decided to be mean. Why Krita? Thank you. Krita has this issue, so just don't mind with it. Anywho, I have the background here, and I usually make this layer multiply. And you have the gray background behind this because I added the multiply and makes like a transparency effect. It works. So I have the characters designed like this. I want to draw the body. At least I want to have a more precise sketch of how the body I want it to look. So I made this second one. I fixed the face and how I really wanted it to look like. I fixed the fire. I wanted to focus firstly on the character because I have a harder time with drawing the character. So I added a bit more finesse onto it. And this is the work of the body. If I can take this off, you guys can, I wish, forgot this one. So you can see how the body structure is done, fixed in this case. I mean, I could show you this one. This is the first one I created, and then I have the second one with the body proportions that I wanted. But firstly, I had the final proportions on the traditional, and then I fixed it to have the final ones on the digital. Then I decided to give them more clean line art, as you can see. I'm just gonna show you here. I mean, not to have the boobs that much, but you can see here I fixed the line art, it's a bit more clean. Even though I don't work with the line art that much, I usually paint on top of it, sorry. It's a habit of mine. But yeah, this is how the character looks like. Now moving on to the head, I decided to add the head, oh dear god, my brain, on another layer. I do this with a lot of layers because if I destroy something by accident, I don't destroy the whole thing, I just destroy one part. And then I added the fire. It's crispy, juicy like the chicken wings. That was stupid, sorry. Anywho, and I decided to add another sketch of the clothing. Even though this was the main clothing I had created, I'm still gonna fix something about this one. So yeah, usually I work with traditional just to have a sense of how I want things to work, and then I pass it on to the digital, so I can have a more wide variety of how I want the character to look. And then after all of this, I work on the background. So if I take this all off, of course I didn't fix this part here of the background, but I'm going to think about which things to add, because in here I had this sketch of a bat, or tiny little baby babu bat, but I can draw it here fast. So my idea of the drawing was to have a little tiny bat. So in another layer, and don't forget to name your layers because after 10,000 layers you will get lost. Okay, now I'm exaggerating, but Okay. And don't forget, when you're making some sketches on the computer, I mean digitally, remind yourself to use more colors than black, because it's preferable to have more lighter colors, and you add the black to make the drawing look more finished. And if you want to paint the line art with another color, that's fine. I mean, sometimes it's even better, because even when you do it traditionally, you usually paint with other colors, and then you finalize everything with a black color. Or when you're using colors to paint with watercolor, it's normal if you use a more neutral color, or a color that actually coincides with the color of the watercolors you're using. That's a lot of color, Jesus. Anywho, yeah, my bats. This is definitely not a Batman symbol, but anyways. So you can see, oh, there we go, poor bat. As you can see, it's best if you have the references of the animal, even though this is just a silhouette, but it looks awful. Poor thing. But yeah, my idea is everything organized in the traditional, scan it, pass it to digital, and then work every part in a singular layer, a separate layer, sorry. So one singular layer for the body, another singular for any other aspect you think it's best for you to work separately, and so on and so forth. So guys, this is a very short video. This is my short explanation. I'm gonna leave the video here. Leave your like, a comment, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.